Obado can be jailed for 1 day. Is Obado a human being? This is a barbaric act. In mitigation, Obado will be crying, "Judge, I'm sorry. Judge, I have learned. I'm no longer Saul, I'm Paul." Or he can take the boisterous nature of Major Mugure, the fighter, the altruism man. You know, soldiers never die. Obado and his team, it will be miraculous to escape with any other sentence other than life sentence. Welcome to court trending version of our explainers. Yesterday was a Justice Day. The whole country was glued to court helicopter news and other media houses. The question was, will Governor Obado and his team walk free? The crowds came expecting from Migori and relatives of Obado and friends of Obado, political allies, expected Obado to leave home celebrating and dancing to the Luo music of Nyatiti. On the other side, Sharon's family, the women fraternity in the whole country, the public was waiting to see Obado and his team convicted. They carried the day. Obado and his two co-accused persons were convicted. As of yesterday, the term of an accused person ended and he became a convict. What happens as from yesterday? Very many legal processes fall in place. One, his bond or cash bail was cancelled. The sureties who stood, if there was a land title that was kept, they were returned. And immediately he was taken by the prison officers. Yesterday, he was booked as somebody convicted into the prison record. Three critical issues are remaining in court. Still, the court process is going on. One, the court ordered for a pre-sentence report. A pre-sentence report is a report that is done by the probation department. This is a government agency that will do this report. We'll deal with what are the contents of that report. The second one will be a victim impact assessment report. This one will be filed by the family of Sharon. And lastly, after this has been done within 21 days, Obado and his team will now come to court for what is called sentencing. In sentencing, there will be two elements. One, mitigation, and after mitigation, then the court will sentence and give a punishment. Let us look at the law. Vivian, our crew, went to look and dig into what is required in the pre-sentence report. One, the probation officer will have to go to Obado's family and recover Obado's family background. Who is Obado? His family, the father, the mother, the grandparents, and all those issues will be captured in that report. Number two is the personal history of Obado. When was he born? Which primary school did he go to? Which secondary school did he go to? Which university level did he go to? What position has he ever been employed? What position has he held as a governor? What is his political activities? The second element is his personal history. The third, they will check whether he has ever been used drug adherence. Has he ever been involved in drugs, cocaine, marijuana, shisha? All those records will come there. Free. The seriousness of the offense. Murder is a very serious offense. So the probation officer will look how that seriousness is. Then they look at community ties. Is Obado a social person? Does he go to church? Is he involved in charity? Does he pay school fees to children? Are there children that Obado is educating who are not his? Is he taking care of old women in the village? So that if he is jailed, these children will not go to school. That is what the probation officer will do. Then they will, number 7, they look at the circumstances of the offense. Remember, the court has never gone to where the scene where Sharon was killed. So they will go and look at the circumstances around that, what really happened within that area. 8, they will look for what is called the criminal history. They'll go to the DCI register. They will check the court records, whether Obado and team have ever been convicted of any other offense. If he's a first offender, they'll bring that record to court. If he was convicted when he was 19 years, 30 years, 50 years, that record will come. It helps the court to make a decision. Then they will look at the attitude and remorse of Obado and team. Are they remorseful? What is the attitude? Are they, my crew Vivian made a mistake. She brought to me the character of Major Migori. You saw, look at how he is standing in court. Look at his attitude. Look at how boisterous he is. Does he look remorseful? He does not look remorseful. So this will be captured in Obado's report. Then the rehabilitation. Is Obado likely to be rehabilitated? The probation officer will look, because the essence of punishment is not to jail somebody, is to rehabilitate Obado. And also, they will look at all this. What is the reason for the pre-sentence report? Obado has 2 options. He be jailed as provided for the law, or he be given an uncustodial sentence. I know most Kenyans will be mad if Obado is told that he has been jailed outside. Aambiwe na koti, sasa wewe enda ufagie choo za shule fulani, enda hospitali fulani, washe wards, and that is what is called the non-custodial sentence. This report will capture and recommend to the judge whether Obado is fit to go for the outside sentence or the inside sentence. That is the first issue that the judge said. The second issue, the second report, is the victim impact assessment or the victim impact statement or the victim impact report. Vivian still went and looked at this, which is provided under Section 329 of the Criminal Procedure Code, and also the Victim Protection Act. So here, the victims, if you saw in court, they have their lawyers. Sharon's mother, Sharon's sisters, Sharon's children are victims. They will be interviewed. They will do a statement through their lawyers. What are the areas Sharon's mother and these victims will do? They will give their personal history, who they are. 2, how has the death, the murder of Sharon affected them psychologically? Are they mad? Have they gone nuts? Are they stable psychologically? 3, how has this death affected them emotionally? Are they emotionally stable? How are they? 3rd, 4th, how have they been traumatized? To what level have these traumatized themselves? 4th, how has the death affected them economically and financially? Remember, Sharon was a university student. The mother, the parents were expecting she finishes, she gets a job, she's employed, she assists financially her family. She has 3 other children. She was expecting that once she finishes, she can pay school fees, she can take care of her children properly. All these will be captured in that report. Then they will also capture in their report, that is what you call the personal history of Obado, his age, is he a first offender? Is he a family? Does he have family responsibilities? What is his health status? This is going to be very, very critical. So these 2 reports are very, very, very critical. They are to help the judge reach at a fair sentence. Now, this is when the judge will put those reports, those information on a weighing scale. These 2 reports explain why people convicted of murder do not only have one sentence. Others will be convicted for 1 day, and yet it is murder, will be sentenced for 1 day. Others will be sentenced for life. Others will be sentenced to death. Others Obado might be sentenced to 30 years. He might be sentenced to 50 years, depending on these 2 critical reports. The angle the reports take is to depict, 1, is Obado a human being who has changed? Has he moved from being Saul to Paul? He was Paul at the time he murdered 8 years ago. Has he now become Saul? If the 2 reports point him to be the same Paul, he'll go to the maximum sentence of a death sentence or a life imprisonment. If these 2 reports show him as moving from Saul to Paul, then Obado is likely to be given a light sentence. So, if he appears in that report like Major Migori, you heard what the judge said. This is a barbaric act, unremorseful. He gave him life sentence. So that will be the parameter to decide whether Obado will get a light sentence or he'll not get a light sentence. On behalf of Court Helicopter, we wish to stand with the judge. The judge arrived at a fair and a just decision, but we as lawyers know Obado has another day either to move to the Court of Appeal, and after the Court of Appeal, Obado might decide to move to the Supreme Court. The anxiety is, will Obado go for a life sentence? In mitigation, Obado will be crying, "Judge, I'm sorry. Judge, I have learned I'm no longer Saul, I'm Paul." Or he can take the boisterous nature of Major Mugure, the fighter, the altruism man. You know, soldiers never die. Let me read to you the sentencing for murder. What does it say? Punishment for murder. Any person convicted of murder shall be sentenced to death. The Supreme Court, this question about whether the death sentence is unconstitutional, was dealt with in the Murwatetu matter. And the court said, depending on the circumstances, these circumstances of the offense will be brought out by the two reports that we've covered. Obado can be jailed for 1 day. Obado can be jailed for 10 years. Obado can be jailed for 50 years. Obado can be jailed for life. We don't want to speculate what Obado is likely to face, but the gravity of the offense, how that murder was committed, is called the aggravated issues. Obado and his team, it will be miraculous to escape with any other sentence other than life sentence. But I'm not a judge. I'm only saying Obado, the possibility is that he is likely to be given a very, very stiff punishment. We wish to thank you for being glued to our social media platforms. In total, we had more than 2 million of you glued to Court Helicopter platforms. We will continue bringing you the scales of justice in court as it unfolds. Wakili Danstan Omari, always a pleasure bringing you very, very robust episodes